Good morning, happy Sunday, and welcome to Dictation. Ha! Man, it is a 80-degree day, kind of humid, but I got my hoodie on, or my sweatshirt on, because they got the air conditioning kicking on these trains. Oh my God, these people don't know how to deal with the heat, to where you go from freaking a heat wave and go underground and it's a refrigerator or a freezer, deep freeze, man. I felt like Han Solo, man, in Carbonite. It was crazy. But this is gonna be a little freestyle rant about women and why they get on my nerves, but not particularly why women get on my nerves, but why they get on my nerves. As in, not the things that women do per se, but it's that I can see through them. And they try to... My grandmother, God rest her soul, man, she was a beautiful woman. My grandmother, she kept it real. Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
She kept it real, man. She, if I would have listened to my grandmother more in my life, one of the smartest women on the planet Earth, if I would have listened to my grandmother more, I wouldn't have had all the troubles that I had with all these booches. And that's for real. You know, so, but the thing about it is, I don't think they make women like my grandmother anymore. My grandmother, wow, she would be pushing 90 right now if she was still alive. And she turned 60. And at the time I was 16, you know, and 60 seemed far away. It seemed like my grandmother was really old. And I guess in her life, in her experience, she may have been mentally, you know, but 60 is not old at all, you know. But in her 60s, she decided not to hold her tongue anymore. She decided not to worry about how people felt, because she had to say what she had to say, and she was grandma. It was her house, and you can move. You know what I'm saying? You can get on, you can get out. Like, both of my grandmothers worked, you know, and I'm talking like, I was born in the 70s, so they worked in the 70s. Were they feminists? No, because they stayed their ass in the kitchen. They worked and they cooked for their families. You know what I'm saying? I mean, full-time jobs, and came home and made the food. They don't make women like that anymore. You know? They make women, they get full-time jobs and want to order food, or want to, you know, go out to eat, or, you know. But my grandmothers, both of them, worked full-time until they retired, and then they enjoyed their life in their retirement age. But they still got down. They still, Sunday dinner was always banging. Thanksgiving was always banging. But I'm talking about my paternal grandmother. When she turned 60, she decided not to hold her tongue. And she would say things that would hurt people's feelings. But it was right. It was true. And if you put your feelings aside and listen to the wisdom, you will be able to benefit from the lessons that were coming out of her mouth. And I think that's a problem with what we have today in this society, is that everybody is worried about how people feel. You know, how you feel. Because we want you to feel good. We want you to feel good about yourself, no matter if you're in bad health. We want you to feel good about the way society is, even though society is crap. You know what I'm saying? We want you to feel good about you know, things that you basically have no reason to feel good about. Because if you felt good about them, you just feel good about them. You wouldn't need nobody to tell you or remind you or affirm that X, Y, and Z were good. You know, because it would just be good. It's like if you ran a 6-minute mile, yeah, a high five would be dope. But if you did it by yourself and you knew you ran it under 6 minutes and you hadn't done that before, the accomplishment itself would be the gratitude you would require, because you would have PR'd, you'd have done better, which is one of my things. But, you know, and so it's like we worry so much about hurting people's feelings that we don't give them the lesson that they need to do better or be better. But they feel good and they stay in a fucked up situation. They feel good and they keep making the same mistakes because they haven't thought what was making them make the mistake in the first place. You know? And it's a real sad thing. And I noticed that the more time I spent with my grandmother when I lived with her, you know, she kept me on point. I mean, but she gave me freedom. She let me do what I wanted to do after I did what I had to do. Like I had to, you know, go to church every Sunday. You know, I'm not a church person right now, but it taught me discipline. It taught me responsibility, and it told me, like, you know, if I want to go to a party on Friday, okay, she said I had to go to church on Sunday. Well, but Grandma, it's Friday right now. She said, so you can't go to the party because it ain't Sunday yet. So I couldn't go to the party tonight until I went to church Sunday. So that means that I had to hope that there was a party next Friday. You know what I'm saying? I had to put in the work first. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just okay, on the strength, she give me a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? And I go, and then she just had to trust that I make it to church on Sunday. No, I had to go to church on Sunday first. See what I'm saying? She made me pay it forward because she was the grandma. Because she was trying to teach me. Because she didn't want me to be like all these little punk asses out here, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, get a little something first and then they go back on it because they already got what they wanted. You know, and that's the lesson that she taught me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but people aren't learning these lessons now. You know, people want to get their reward now without putting in the work, you know, and then they don't respect the people who put in the work, you know. So you can't reward somebody before they do the job, because if they're not an honorable person, they will escape with the reward without doing the work they were supposed to do to gain the reward. So you got to be careful, you know what I'm saying? But the problem is we worry too much about people's feelings. And my grandma she was a woman. And that's the part that kills it, is because who do I hear saying, well, you gotta, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Huh? It's not what I say, but how I say it. Okay, so forget the fact that Freddy Krueger's coming down the street with a handful of knives, just chopping everybody in his way. I gotta say it to you nicely, so that you'll run off of Elm Street and save your life. Is that what you're telling me? So forget the fact that it's a psychopathic dream killer, you know what I'm saying, coming after everybody. I gotta say it to you nicely in order for you to listen. Well, you know what? I'm out. Pew! And I'm yelling, Freddy's coming! You know what I'm saying? And if you get chopped up and don't wake up from your dream, well, my bad for not saying it nicely. I apologize, but you're dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he said, get to the chopper, did he say get to the chopper nicely? You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, because the Predator was coming. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't grab the weapon. You know what I'm saying? Put the weapon down, you know? But understand, a lot of times, what people say is so important, is more important than how they say it. You know, so you, as the individual, have to be wise enough, you know, to recognize the wisdom in what somebody's telling you, so that you don't mess around and miss the chopper. Don't miss the chopper. Don't get left. Because the person flying the chopper, he wants to get home to his family. You know what I'm saying? He might want to, catch a Sunday dinner with his grandma. And he can't do it if he's waiting on you because you don't like how Arnold said, "Get to the chopper!" You would like him to say, "Could you please expeditiously make your way to the chopper so that we can escape the predator? Can you please do that for us, okay? And I promise not to terminate you." But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So like I say, I had a grandmother who was a woman, and this might be why I'm so hard on women. You know what I'm saying? Partially my grandmother, and the other half was my mother. And I see them do things. I saw them do things when I was a child, that women today claim to be strong for doing. They strong because they did. My grandmother never claimed to be strong. She just did it. You know what I'm saying? My mother never claimed to be strong. She just did it. You know what I'm saying? Were they strong women? No. They were just adults. They were just adults. They made mistakes. They learned from them. Some mistakes they made again. Some mistakes they didn't. What did I learn? I learned to learn from not only my mistakes, but hopefully learn from somebody else's mistakes so that I wouldn't have to make my own mistakes, Because you don't have to go to jail to realize that jail is not a good place. But I digress. Fuck your feelings. Respectfully, fuck your feelings. Or not really fuck your feelings, but just put them to the side, and at least listen to the merits of somebody's argument to determine if it's more to it than just how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can get stuck in their feelings, and they can get killed for their feelings. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, let's have a good day today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the weather's kind of humid and muggy, and I hope it doesn't storm because, I'm catching this train. But, let's have a good day. Fellas, live up. You know what I'm saying? All my men, my MGTOWs, my AWMs, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, high five, fellas. You know what I'm saying? We had a good weekend, about to start this week. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some push-ups, some crunches, some dips. You know what I'm saying? And let's have a better today than we did yesterday. And if we keep doing that, we'll have a better tomorrow. And if anybody does not like what I have to say, so fuck your feelings. Because my grandmama would have said what she had to say. And she didn't care how you felt. And if you ain't like it, you can get up out her house. But I ain't my grandma. I'm the dictator. So if you don't like what I got to say, you go open your mouth and let me know how this dictate.